Men, why then you should discour a brace of VN meriting. Proud, violent, testy magistrates, alias fools. As any in Rome. Cicin, Menenius, you are known well enough too. Men, I am known to be a humorous patrician, and one that lows a cup of hot wine, with not a drop of allaying Tiber int, said to be something imperfect in forwarding the first complaint, hasty and tinder-like VP pawn to triual motion, one that canoeuses more with the buttock of the night than with the forehead of the morning. What I think, I VT ter, and spend my malice in my breath. Meeting two such wheels men as you are, I cannot call you liquor gusses. If the drink you giu me, touch my palate aduously, I make a crooked face at it, I can say, your worships ha de leeward the matter well, when I find the esse in compound, with the mayor part of your syllables. And though I must be content to bear with those, that say you are ruer and gra men, yet they lie deadly, that tell you ha good faces, if you see this in the map of my microcosmi, follows it that I am known well enough too? What harm can your be some conspicuities glean out of this character, if I be known well enough too? Brew, come sir come, we know you well enough. Menon, you know neither me, your cellus, nor anything. You are ambitious for poor Nas caps and leges. You wear out a good wholesome forenoon, in hearing a cause between an orange wife and a forfeitseller, and then rear the controversy of 3 pence to a second day of audience. When you are hearing a matter between party and party, if you chance to be pinched with the colic, you make faces like mummers, set VP the bloody flag against all patience, and in roaring for a chamber pot, dismiss the controversy bleeding, the more entangled by your hearing. All the peace you make in their cause is calling both the parties Nas. You are a payer of strange ones. Brew, come, come, you are well VN dursted to be a perfecter gibber for the table, than a necessary bencher in the Capitol. Men, our very priests must become mockers, if they shall encounter such ridiculous subikes as you are, when you speak best VNTO the purpose. It is not worth the wagging of your beards, and your beards deserve not so honorable a gra as to stuff a botcher's cushion, or to be entombed in an ass's pack a saddle. Yet you must be saying Mardius is proud, who in a cheap estimation is worth all your predecessors, since Deucalion, though peradventure some of the best of 'em were hereditary hangmen. God into your worships, more of your conversation would infect my brain, being the herdsman of the beastly plebeians. I will be bold to take my low of you. Brew and sick aside. Enter Volumnia, Virgilia, and Valeria. How now, my as fair as noble ladies, and the moon were she earthly, no nobler. Whither do you follow your eyes so fast? Volum. Honorable Menenius, my boy Mardius approaches. For the low of Juno, let's go. Menend ha, Mardius coming home. Volum, I worthy Menenius, and with most prosperous. Approbation. Menon, take my cap, Eupiter, and I thank thee. 2. Mardius coming home. 2. Ladies, nay, 'tis true. Volum, look, here's a letter from him. The state hath another, his wife another, and I think there's one at home for you. Menon, I will make my very house reel tonight. A letter for me. Virgil, yes, certain, there's a letter for you I sought. Menon, a letter for me? It geus me in a state of 7 years' health, in which time I will make a lip at the physician. The most sour rainy prescription in Galen is but empiriquitique, and to this persuade you of no better report than a horse drench. Is he not wounded? He was wont to come home wounded? Virgil. Oh no, no, no. Volum, oh, he is wounded, I thank the gods for't. Menon, so do I too, if it be not too much, brings a victory in his pocket, the wounds become him. Volum, on's brows, Menenius he comes the third. Time home with the oaken garland. Menon, has he disciplined Aufidius soundly. Volum, Titus Lardius writes they fought together but Aufidius got off. Menon, and 'twas time for him too, I'll warrant him that, and he had stayed by him I would not ha been so fidiest for all the chests and carrioles and the gold that's in them. Is the Senate possessed of this? Volum. Good ladies, let's go. Yes, 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 the Senate has letters from the general, wherein he geus my son the whole name of the war. He hath in this action outdone his former deeds doubly. Valor, in troth, there's wondrous things spoke of him. Menon, wondrous, I warrant you, and not without his true purchasing. Virgil, the gods grant them true. Volum true pauwa. Mean true, I'll be sworn they are true. Where is he wounded, God saw your good worships? Mardius is coming home, he has more cause to be proud. Where is he wounded? Volum. ith shoulder and ith left arm, there will be large cicatrices to show the people, when he shall stand for his place. He received in the repulse of Tarquin Suin hurts ith body. Mean, 1 ith neck and 2 ith thigh there's 9. That I know. Volum, he had before this last expedition 20. Few wounds vipon him. Mean, now it's 20 Suin, Uri gash was in. Enemies graw, hark the trumpets. A shout and flourish. Volum, these are the vishures of Mardius. Before him he carries noise. And behind him he lows tears. Death, that dark spirit, in's narrowy arm doth lie, which being aduanct, declines, and then men die. A senate trumpet sound, enter Cominius the general and Titus. Ladius. Between them Coriolanus, crowned with an oaken garland, with captains and soldiers and a herald. Herald, no Rome, that all alone Mardius did fight. Within Coriol's gates, where he hath won, with fame, a name to Mardius Caius. These in honor follows Mardius Caius Coriolanus. Welcome to Rome, renowned Coriolanus. Sound flourish. All, welcome to Rome, renowned Coriolanus. Coriol, no more of this, it does offend my heart, pray now no more. Calm, look sir your mother. Coriol, oh, you ha I know, petitioned all the gods for my prosperity. Kneels. Volum, nay my good soldier VP. My gentle Mardius, worthy Caius. And by dedatuing honor newly named. What is it, Coriolanus, must I call thee? But oh, thy wife's. Corio, my gracious silence hail. Wouldst thou ha laughed, had I come coffined home? That weepst to see me triumph, ah my dear. Such eyes the widows in Cariols were. And mothers that lackey sons. Mean, now the gods crown thee. Calm, and liu you yet, O my sweet lady, pardon. Volum, I know not where to turn. O welcome home, and welcome general. And ye're welcome all. Mean, 100,000 welcomes. I could weep and I could laugh. I am light and hoey, welcome. A curse begin at very root on's heart. That is not glad to see thee. You are 3 that Rome should dote on. Yet by the faith of men we haw some old crab trees here at home. That will not be grafted to your relish. Yet welcome warriors. We call a nettle but a nettle. And the faults of fools but folly. Calm, you are right. Cor, Menenius, you are. Herald, g you way there and go on. Cor, your hand and yours. Ere in our own house I do shade my head. The good patricians must be visited, from whom I ha received not only greetings, but with them change of honors. Volum I ha liud. To see inherited my very wishes, and the buildings of my fancy. Only there's one thing wanting, which I doubt not but our Rome will cast vipon thee. Cor, no, good mother. I had rather be their servant in my way, than sway with them in theirs. Come on to the Capitol. Flourish cornets. Exeunt in state as before. Enter Brutus and Sicinius. Brew, all tongues speak of him and the bleared sights. Are spectacled to see him, your prattling nurse. Into a rapture lets her baby cry. While she chats him, the kitchen malkin pins her richest lockram bout her reachy neck, clambering the walls to eye him. Stalls, bulks, windows are smothered VP. Leads filled and ridges horsed. With variable complexions, all agreeing. In earnestness to see him, seld shown flamins. Do press among the popular throngs and puff. To win a vulgar station, our veiled dames commit the war of white and damask. In their nicely gauded cheeks, doth wanton spoil Of Phoebus burning kisses, such a puther. As if that whatsoever God who leads him were slyly crept into his humane powers, and gaw him graceful posture. Sisson, on the sudden I warrant him consul. Brutus, then our office may during his power go. As leap. Sisson, he cannot temperately transport his honors. From where he should begin and end but will lose those he hath won. Brutus, in that there's comfort. Sissi, doubt not. The commoners for whom we stand, but they, vipon their ancient malice, will forget. With the least cause, these his new honors. Which that he will GU them, make I as little question. As he is proud to do't. Brutus, I heard him swear. Were he to stand for consul, newer would he appear i'th marketplace, nor on him put the Naples vesture of humility, nor showing, as the manner is, his wounds. Toth people beg their stinking breaths. Sisson, t''s right. Brutus, it was his word. Oh, he would miss it, rather than carry it. But by the sweet of the gentry to him, and the desire of the nobles. Sisson, I wish no better than haw him hold that purpose, and to put it in execution. Brutus, t''s most like he will. Sisson, it shall be to him then, as our good wills, a sure destruction. Brutus, so it must fall out. To him, or our authorities for an end. We must suggest the people, in what hatred he still hath held them, that to's power he would. Ha made them mules, silent their pleaders, and disproportied their freedoms, holding them in humane action and capacity, of no more soul nor fitness for the world than camels in their war who haw their pruand, onely for bearing burthens and sore blows, for sinking dur them. Sisson, this, as you say, suggested, at some time when his soaring insolence shall teach the people which time shall not want, if he be put pont, and that's as easy as to set dogs on sheep, will be his fire, to kindle their dry stubble, and their blaze shall darken him for ewer. Enter a messenger. Brutus, what's the matter? Mess, you are sent for to the Capitol. T''s thought that Mardius shall be consul. I haw seen the dumb men throng to see him, and the blind to hear him speak, matrons flong glows, ladies and maids their scarfs and handkerchers. Vipon him as he passed, the nobles bended. As to Io's statue, and the commons made a shower and thunder with their caps and shoats. I newer saw the like. Brutus, let's to the Capitol, and carry with versus ears and eyes for time, but hearts for the uint. Sisson, ha with you. Exeunt. Enter two officers to lay cushions as it were in the Capito off. Come, come, they are almost here, how many? Stand for consulships. 2, off 3 they say, but t''s thought of Uri 1. Coriolanus will carry it. 1, off, that's a braw fellow, but he's vengeance proud and lows not the common people. 2, off, faith, there hath been many great men that ha flattered the people, who ne'er allowed them, and there be many that they ha loud, they know not wherefore, so that if they loud they know not why, they hate vipon no better a ground. Therefore, for Coriolanus neither to care whether they low or hate him, manifests the true knowledge he has in their disposition, and out of his noble carelessness lets them plainly seet. 1, off, if he did not care whether he had their low or no, he wad indifferently, twixt doing them neither good nor harm, but he seeks their hate with greater devotion than they can render it him, and loes nothing done that may fully discover him their opposite. Now to seem to affect the malice and displeasure of the people is as bad as that which he dislikes to flatter them for their low. 2, off, he hath deserved worthily of his country, and his ascent is not by such easy degrees as those, who hawing been supple and courteous to the people, bonneted, without any further deed, to haw them at all into their estimation and report, but he hath so planted his honors in their eyes and his actions in their hearts, that for their tongues to be silent and not confess so much were a kind of ingrateful injury. To report otherwise were a malice that, genuing itself the lie, would pluck reproof and rebuke from every ear that heard it. One, off, no more of him, he's a worthy man, make way, they are coming. A senate, enter the patricians and the tribunes of the people. Lictors. Before them, Coriolanus, Menenius, Cominius the consul. Sistinius and Brutus take their places by themselves, Coriolanus stands. Menon, hoing determined of the valses. And to send for Titus Lardius, it remains. As the main point of this our after meeting. To gratify his noble Cerois that hath thus stood for his country, therefore please you, most ruerend and gras elders, to desire the present consul and last general in our well-found successes to report a little of that worthy work performed by Mardius Caius Coriolanus, whom we met here both to thank and to remember with honors like himself. One send speak, good Cominius. Lo nothing out for length and make verses think. Rather our states defect to you for requital. Then we to stretch it out, masters of people. We do request your kindest ears, and after your lowing motion toward the common body, to yield what passes here. Sisson, we are convented vipon a pleasing treaty, and ha hearts inclinable to honor and adduance the theme of our assembly. Brutus, which the rather we shall be blessed to do, if he remember a kinder value of the people, then he hath hereto prised them at. Menon, that's off, I would you rather had been silent, please you to hear Cominius speak. Brutus, most willingly, but yet my caution was more pertinent than the rebuke you it. Menon, he lows your people, but tie him not to be their bedfellow, worthy Cominius speak. Coriolanus rises and offers to go away. Nay, keep your place. Senate, sit Coriolanus, newer shame to hear what you ha nobly done. Coriol, your honours pardon. I had rather ha my wounds to heal again than here say how I got them. Brutus, sir, I hope my words dispensed you not. Coriol, no sir, yet oft. When blows ha made me stay, I fled from words. You soothed not, therefore hurt not, but your people. I allow them as they weigh. Menon, pray now sit down. Corio, I had rather ha one scratch my head at sun. When the alarum were struck, then idly sit. To hear my nothings monstered. Exit Coriolanus. Menon, masters of the people. Your multiplying spawn, how can he flatter? That's 1,000 to 1 good one, when you now see. He had rather venture all his limbs for honor than on one's ears to hear it, proceed Cominius. Come, I shall lackey voice, the deeds of Coriolanus should not be vt feebly, it is held that valor is the chiefest virtue, and most dignifies the hour, if it be. The man I speak of cannot in the world be singly counterpoised, at 16 years. When Tarquin made a head for Rome, he fought beyond the mark of others, our then dictator, whom with all praise I point at, saw him fight. When with his Amazonian shin he drow the brizzled lips before him, he bestrid an repressed Roman, and i'th consul's view. Slew 3 opposers, Tarquin's self he met, and struck him on his knee, in that day's feats. When he might act the woman in the scene, he proved best man i'th field, and for his meed was browbound with the oak, his pupil a. Man entered thus, he waxed like a sea. And in the brunt of Suentine battle since, he lurked all swords of the garland, for this last. Before and in Coriols, let me say, I cannot speak him home, he stopped the flyers, and by his rare example made the coward turn terror into sport, as weeds before. A vessel viender sail, so men obeyed. And fell below his stem, his sword death stamp. Where it did mark, it took from face to foot. He was a thing of blood, whose ewer motion was timid with dying cries, alone he entered the mortal gate of Th city, which he painted. With shunless destiny, idoless came off, and with a sudden reinforcement struck. Carioles like a planet, now all's his. When by and by the din of war gan pierce his reedy sense, then straight his doubled spirit requickened what in flesh was fatigate. And to the battle came he, where he did run reeking o'er the leaves of men, as if tweer a perpetual spoil, until we called both field and city hours he newer stood to ease his breast with panting. Menon, worthy man. Senate, he cannot but with measure fit the honors which we dioise him. Come, our spoils he kicked at, and looked upon things precious as they were. The common muck of the world, he cowits less. Then misery itself would Geu, rewards his deeds with doing them and is content to spend the time to end it. Menon, he's right noble, let him be called for. Senate, call Coriolanus. Oft he doth appear. Enter Coriolanus. Menon, the Senate, Coriolanus are well pleased to make the consul. Corio, I do owe them still my life and services. Menon, it then remains that you do speak to the people. Corio, I do beseech you. Let me reliep that custom, for I cannot put on the gown, stand naked, and entreat them. For my wound's sake, to Geu their suffrage. Please you that I may pass this doing. Sisson, sir, the people must haw their voices. Neither will they bate one eat of ceremony. Menon, put them not toots. Pray you go fit you to the custom, and take to you, as your predecessors haw, your honor with your form. Corio, it is a part that I shall blush in acting, and might well be taken from the people. Brutus, mark you that. Corio, to brag vientio them, thus I did and thus. Show them v-naking scars which I should hide, as if I had received them for the hire of their breath only. Menon, do not stand v-pont. We recommend to you tribunes of the people our purpose to them and to our noble consul. Wish we all eye and honor. Senate, to Coriolanus come all eye and honor. Flourish cornets, then exeunt, Manet Sicinius and Brutus. Brew, you see how he intends to VSC the people. Sisson, may they purseue's intent, he will require them. As if he did contemny what he requested. Should be in them to Geu. Brew, come we'll inform them of our proceedings here on Th Marketplace. I know they do attend versus. Enter Sewen or 8 citizens. 1 sit, once if he do require our voices, we ought not to deny H sit. We may sir if we W sit. We ha power in our cellus to do it, but it is a power that we ha no power to do. For if he show versus his wounds and tell versus his deeds, we are to put our tongues into those wounds and speak for them. So if he tell versus his noble deeds, we must also tell him our noble acceptance of them. Ingratitude is monstrous, and for the multitude to be ingrateful, we're to make a monster of the multitude, of the which, we being members, should bring our cellus to be monstrous members. 1. Sit, and to make versus no better thought of a little help will Seru. For once we stood VP about the corn, he himself stuck not to call versus the many-headed multitude. 3. Sit. We have been called so of many, not that our heads are some brown, some blacky, some Abram, some bald, but that our wits are so diously coolered. And truly I think, if all our wits were to issue out of one skull, they would fly east, west, north, south, and their consent of one direct way should be at once to all the points of the compass. 2. Sit, think you so? Which way do you edge my wit would fly? 3. Sit, nay your wit will not so soon out as another man's will, tease strongly wodged VP in a blockhead, but if it were at liberty, 'twould sure southward sit, why that way. 3 sit, to loose itself in a fog where being 3 parts melted away with rotten dews, the 4th would return for conscience sake, to help to get thee a wife. 2 sit, you are newer without your tricks, you may. 3 sit, are you all resolute to gee your voices? But that's no matter, the greater part carries it, I say. If he would incline to the people, there was newer a worthier man. Enter Coriolanus in a gown of humility, with Menenius. Here he comes, and in the gown of humility, mark his behoyer. We are not to stay altogether, but to come by him where he stands, by ones, by twoes, and by threes. He's to make his requests by particulars, wherein youery one of these has a single honor, in geoing him our own voices with our own tongues, therefore follow me, and I'll direct you how you shall go by him. All content. Men, oh sir, you are not right, ha you not known. The worthiest men ha don't. Corio, what must I say, I pray, sir? Plague vipont I cannot bring my tongue to such a pace, look, sir, my wounds. I got them in my country's Cerois when some certain of your brethren roared and ran. From noise of our own drums. Menon, oh me the gods, you must not speak of that. You must desire them to think vipon you. Coriols think vipon me, hang 'em. I would they would forget me, like the virtues which our dewines lose by men, you'll mar all. I'll low you, pray you speak to I pray you. In wholesome manner. Exit. Enter 3 of the citizens. Corio, bid them wash their faces. And keep their teeth clean, so here comes a brace. You know the cause, sir, of my standing here. 3 sit, we do, sir, tell versus what hath brought you to't. Corio, mine own desert. 2 sit, your own desert. Corio, I but mine own desire. 3 sit, how not your own desire? Corio, no sir, 'twas near my desire yet to trouble the poor with begging. 3 sit, you must think if we geo you anything, we hope to gain by you. Corio, well then I pray your price ith consulship. 1 sit, the price is to ask it kindly. Corio, kindly sir, I pray let me hat, I ha wounds too. Show you, which shall be yours and priuate, your good. Voice sir, what say you? 2 sit, you shall hat worthy sir. Corio, a match sir, there's an all too worthy voices. Begged, I ha your alms adieu. 3 sit, but this is something odd. 2 sit, and tweer to geoagon, but tease no matter. Exeunt, enter 2 other citizens. Coriol, pray you now, if it may stand with the tune of your voices, that I may be consul, I ha here the customary gown. Coriol, your enigma. Coriol, you should account me the more virtuous, that I ha not been common in my low, I will sir flatter my sworn brother the people to earn a dearer estimation of them. 'Tis a condition they account gentle. And since the wisdom of their choice is rather to haw my hat, than my heart, I will practice the insinuating nod, and be off to them most counterfeitly, that is, sir, I will counterfeit the bewitchment of some popular man, and gee it bountiful to the desirers. Therefore beseech you, I may be consu we hope to find you our friend, and therefore gee you our voices heartily. Coriol, I will not seal your knowledge with showing them. I will make much of your voices, and so trouble you no farther. Both, the gods gee you are heartily. Coriol, most sweet voices. Better it is to die, better to stero. Then craw the higher, which first we do desero. Why in this woolluish tongue should I stand here? To beg of Hob and Dick, that does appear. Their needless vouches, custom calls me toot. What custom wills in all things should we do't? The dust on antique time would lie bien swept, and mountainous error be too highly heaped. For truth to a reappear, rather than fool it so, let the high office and the honor go. To one that would doe thus, I am half through. The one part suffered, the other will I doe. Enter 3 citizens more. Here come moe voices. Your voices, for your voices I ha sought. Watched for your voices bear. Of wounds 2 dozen odd, battles thrice 6. I ha seen and heard of, for your voices. Ha done many things, some less, some more. Your voices, indeed I would be consu sit. He has done nobly and cannot go without. Any honest man's voice. 2. Sit, therefore let him be consul, the gods due him. Aye, and make him good friend to the people. All, amen, amen, God saw thee noble consul. Corio, worthy voices. Enter Menenius with Brutus and Sicinius. Mean, you ha stood your limitation. And the tribunes, indue you with the people's voice. Remains that in th official marks inusted. You anon do meet the Senate. Corio is this done. Sissin, the custom of request you ha discharged. The people do admit you, and are summoned. To meet anon, vipon your approbation. Corio where at the Senate House. Sissin there Coriolanus. Corio, may I change these garments? Sissin, you may, sir. Cori, that I'll straight do, and knowing myself again. Repair toth, Senate House. Mean, I'll keep you company, will you along? Brute, we stay here for the people. Sissin, fare you well. Exeunt Coriol and mean. He has it now, and by his looks methinks. 'Tis warm at's heart. Brute, with a proud heart he wore his humble weeds. Will you dismiss the people? Enter the plebeians. Sissi, how now my masters, how you chose this man? 1. Sit, he has our voices, sir. Brute, we pray the gods he may deserve your lows. 2. Sit, amen, sir. To my poor Vienworthy notice he mocked V's when he begged our voices. 3. Sit, certainly he floated versus downright. 1. Sit, no, 'tis his kind of speech, he did not mock versus. 2. Sit, not one amongst V's saw yourself, but says he v'est versus scornfully. He should ha showed versus his marks of merit, wounds received for's country. Sissin, why so he did, I am sure. All, no man saw e sit, he said he had wounds, which he could show and preuate. And with his hat, thus wawing it in scorn. I would be consul, says he, aged custom. But by your voices, will not so permit me. Your voices, therefore, when we granted that. Here was, I thank you for your voices, thank you. Your most sweet voices, now you ha left your voices. I ha no further with you, was not this mockery. Sissin, why either were you ignorant to seat? Or seeing it of such childish friendliness? To yield your voices. Brute, could you not ha told him? As you were lessened, when he had no power. But was a petty servant to the state. He was your enemy, you were spake against. Your liberties and the charters that you bear. As body of the wheel, and now a reewing. A place of potency and sway o'th state. If he should still malignantly remain. Fast fototh plebage, your voices might. Be curses to your cellus, you should ha said. That as his worthy deeds did claim no less. Then what he stood for, so his gracious nature. Would think vipon you, for your voices. And translate his malice towards you, into lao. Standing your friendly lord. Sissin thus to ha said. As you were foredoised, had tucked his spirit. And tried his inclination, from him plucked. Either his gracious promise, which you might. As cause had called you VP, ha held him to. Or else it would ha galled his surly nature. Which easily endures not article. Tying him to aught, so putting him to rage. You should ha tan th, advantage of his collar. And past him venelicted. Brute, did you pursue? He did solicite you in free contempt. When he did need your lows, and do you think that his contempt shall not be bruising to you? When he hath power to crush, why had your bodies no heart among you, or had you tongues to cry against the rectorship of judgment? Sisson, ha you, ere now denied the asker. And now again, of him that did not ask but mock. Bestow your sued for tongues. 3. Sit, he's not confirmed, we may deny him yet. 2. Sit, and will deny him. I'll ha few hundred voices of that sound sit. I twice few hundred and their friends to peace 'em. Brute, get you hence instantly, and tell those friends. They ha chose a consul, that will from them take. Their liberties make them of no more voice. Then dogges, that are as often beat for barking. As therefore kept to do so. Sissi, let them assemble, and on a safer judgment. All rook your ignorant election, enforce his pride. And his old hate you, besides forget not. With what contempt he wore the humble weed. How in his suit he scorned you, but your lows. Thinking vipon his services took from you. Apprehension of his present portance. Which most jibingly viengrally he did fashion. After the annuiterate hate he bears you. Brute, lay a fault on your tribunes. That we labored, no impediment between. But that you must cast your election on him. Sissi, say you chose him, more after our commandment. Then as guided by your own true affections, and that your minds preoccupied with what you rather must do. Then what you should, made you against the grain. To voice him consul, lay the fault on versus. Brute, I spare versus not, say, we read lectures to you. How youngly he began to sorrow his country. How long continued, and what stock he springs of. The noble house Othmartians, from whence came. That Ancus Martius, Numi's daughter's son. Who after great Hostilius here was king. Of the same house Publius and Quintus were. That our best water, brought by conduits hither. And nobly named, so twice being censor. Was his great ancestor. Sisson, one thus descended. That hath beside well in his person wrought. To be set high in place, we did commend. To your remembrances, but you ha found. Scowling his present bearing with his past. That he's your fixed enemy, and rogue. Your sudden approbation. Brute, say you near had don't. Harp on that still, but by our putting on. And presently, when you ha drawn your number. Repair toth capitol. All we will so, almost all repent in their election. Exeunt plebeians. Brute, let them go on. This mutiny were better put in hazard. Then stay past doubt for greater. If, as his nature is, he fall in rage. With their refusal, both observe and answer. The vantage of his anger. Sisson toth capitol come. We will be there before the stream oath people. And this shall seem as partly tease their own. Which we ha goaded onward. Exeunt. Actus tertius. Cornets, enter Coriolanus, Menenius, all the gentry Cominius. Titus. Latius and other senators. Corio, Tullus Aufidius then had made new head. Latius, he had my lord, and that it was which coust. Our swifter composition. Corio, so then the valses stand but as at first. Ready when time shall prompt them, to make road. Vipons again. Come, they are warned Lord Consul so. That we shall hardly in our ages see. Their banners wa again. Corio saw you Aufidius. Latius, on safeguard he came to me and did curse. Against the valses, for they had so vildly. Yielded the town, he is rittered to Antium. Corio spoke he of me. Latius he did my lord. Corio how what? Latius, how often he had met you sword to sword. That of all things vipon the earth he hated. Your person most, that he would pawn his fortunes. To hopeless restitution, so he might. Be called your vanquisher. Corio ad entium leus he. Latius at Antium. Corio, I wish I had a cause to seek him there. To oppose his hatred fully, welcome home. Enter Sicinius and Brutus. Behold, these are the tribunes of the people. The tongue's oath common mouth, I do despise them. For they do prank them in authority. Against all noble sufferance. Sissin, pass no further. Cor, what is that? Brute, it will be dangerous to go on no further. Corio, what makes this change? Menins the matter. Com, hath he not passed the noble in the common? Brute, Cominius no. Corio, how I had children's voices. Senate, tribunes GUA, he shall toth marketplace. Brute, the people are incensed against him. Sissin, stop, or all will fall in broil. Corio, are these your herd? Must these voices, that can yield them now? And straight disclaim their towns, what are your offices? You being their mouths, why rule you not their teeth? How you not set them on? Mean becami. Corio, it is a purposed thing and grows by plot. To curb the will of the nobility. Suffer and leave you with such as cannot rule. Nor you will be ruled. Brute, cult not a plot. The people cry you mock them, and of late. When corn was due in them gratis, you repined. Scandaled the suppliants, for the people called them. Time pleasers, flatterers, foes to nobleness. Corio, why this was known before. Brute, not to them all. Corio, how you inform them Scythians. Brute, how I inform them. Com, you are like to do such business. Brute, not vien like each way to better yours. Corio, why then should I be consul, by yon clouds? Let me deserve so ill as you, and make me your fellow tribune. Sissin, you show too much of that. For which the people stirra, if you will pass. To where you are bound, you must inquire your way. Which you are out of, with a gentler spirit. Or newer be so noble as a consul. Nor yoke with him for tribune. Mean let's be calmy. Calm, the people are abuzzed, set on this paltering. Becomes not Rome, nor has Coriolanus. Deserved this so dishonored rub, laid falsely. I'th plain way of his merit. Corio, tell me of corn, this was my speech. And I will speak to again. Mean, not now. Senate, not in this heat, sir, now. Corio, now as I leave you I will. My nobler friends, I craw their pardons. For the mutable rank-scented many. Let them regard me, as I do not flatter. And therein behold themselves, I say again. In soothing them, we nourish gainst our senate. The cockle of rebellion, insolence, sedition. Which we ourselves ha plowed for, sowed and scattered. By mingling them with these, the honored number. Who lack not virtue, no, nor power but that. Which they ha genuine to beggars. Mean, well, no more. Senate, no more words, we beseech you. Corios, how, no more. As for my country, I ha shed my blood. Not fearing outward force, so shall my lungs. Coin words till their decay, against those measles. Which we disdain should tetter versus, yet sought. The very way to catch them. Brew, you speaketh people, as if you were a god. To punish, not a man, of their infirmity. Sissin, tweer well we let the people note. Mean, what his collar. Core collar, were I as patient as the midnight sleep. By Ios 'twould be my mind. Sissin, it is a mind that shall remain a poison. Where it is, not poison any further. Corio shall remain. Hear you this Triton of the Minows, mark you. His absolute shall. Come, 'twas from the cannon. Cor shall, O God, but most wise patricians, why? You graw, but reckless senators, haw you thus. Genuine hydra here to choose an officer. that with his peremptory shell being but the horn and noise oath monsters wants not spirit. To say, he'll turn your current in a ditch, and make your channel his, if he ha power. Then veil your ignorance, if none awake. Your dangerous lenity, if you are learned. Be not as common fools, if you are not. Let them haw cushions by you, you are plebeians. If they be senators, and they are no less. When both your voices blended, the greats taste. Most palates theirs, they choose their magistrate. And such a one as he, who puts his shall. His popular shall, against a grower bench. Then you were frowned in Greece, by Io himself. It makes the consul's base, and my soul aches. To know, when two authorities are VP. Neither supreme, how soon confusion may enter twixt the gap of both and take the one by th other. Come, well on Toth marketplace. Corio, who you are ga that counsel, to g you forth. The corneth storehouse gratis, as 'twas viest. Sometime in Greece. Mean, well, no more of that. Cor, thog there the people had more absolute power. I say they nourished disobedience, fed the ruin of the state. Brew, why shall the people g you? One that speaks thus their voice. Corio, I'll g you my reasons. More worthier than their voices, they know the corn. Was not our recompense, resting well assured. They near did Cerois fort, being pressed toth war. Ewan, when the noil of the state was touched. They would not thread the gates, this kind of Cerois. Did not deseru corn gratis, being ithwar. Their mutinies and revolts wherein they showed. Most valor spoke not for them, th accusation. Which they ha often made against the Senate. All cause Vienne born, could newer be the natu. Of our so frank donation, well what then? How shall this bosom multiplied digest? The Senate's courtesy, let deeds express. What's like to be their words, we did request it. We are the greater pole, and in true fear. They gaw versus our demands, thus we debase the nature of our seats and make the rabble. Call our cares fears which will in time break ope the locks of the Senate and bring in the crows to peck the eagles. Mean, come enough. Brew, enough with our measure. Corio, no take more. What may be sworn by, both divine and humane. Seal what I end withal, this double worship. Whereon part dues disdain with cause the other. Insult without all reason, where gentry, title, wisdom cannot conclude but by the yea and no. Of general ignorance it must omit. Real necessities, and gu weigh the while. To Vien stable slightness, purpose so barred it follows. Nothing is done to purpose, therefore beseech you. You that will be less fearful, than discreet. That allow the fundamental part of state. More than you doubt the change on't, that prefera. A noble life before a long and wish. To eump a body with a dangerous physic. That's sure of death without it, at once pluck out. The multitudinous tongue, let them not lick. The sweet which is their poison, your dishonor. Mangles true judgment, and barrows the state. Of that integrity which should be calmed. Not hoing the power to do the good it would. For th ill which doth contralt. Brew has said enough. Sisson has spoken like a traitor, and shall answer. As traitors do. Corio, thou wretch, despite o'erwhelm thee. What should the people do with these bald tribunes? On whom depending, their obedience fails. Toth greater bench in a rebellion. When what's not meet but what must be was law. Then were they chosen, in a better hour. Let what is meet be said it must be meet. And throw their power i'th dust. Brew manifest treason. Sisson this a consul, no. Zenter an edile. Brew, the edels ho, let him be apprehended. Sissin, go call the people, in whose name myself attach thee as a traitorous in water. A foe toth public weal, obey I charge thee. And follow to thine answer. Corio hence old goat. All we'll surety him. Come, egged sir hands off. Corio, hence rotten thing, or I shall shake thy bones. Out of thy garments. Sissin, help ye citizens. Enter a rabble of plebeians with the aediles. Mean, on both sides more respect. Sissin, here's he, that would take from you all your power. Brew, seize him aediles. All down with him, down with send weapons, weapons, weapons. They all bustle about Coriolanus. Tribunes, patricians, citizens, what ho! Sistinius, Brutus, Coriolanus, citizens. All peace, 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 stay, hold, peace. Mean, what is about to be, I am out of breath. Confusion's near, I cannot speak, you tribunes. Toth people, Coriolanus, patience, speak good Sicinius. Sissi, hear me people, peace. All, let's hear our tribune, peace, speak, speak. Speak. Sissi, you are at point to lose your liberties. Mardius would ha all from you, Mardius. Whom late you ha named for consul. Mean, fi, this is the way to kindle, not to quench. Sina, to Vienne build the city, and to lay all flat. Sissi, what is the city but the people? All true, the people are the city. Brute, by the consent of all, we were established the people's magistrates.